welcome to GBGHSTUDIOS, preview of Week 3, Cleveland and Minnesota, and a recap of the Bears game last week. Bryce, what did you think about the game after the Bears lost? Tough loss.
Well, there was a lot of things that went well, and there's a lot of things that went wrong. Overall, Christian Ponder stepped up maybe a little bit. That huge pick six really put a dagger in our hearts. It's a shame that we had to lose that game by 1 point or for the better part at all. So what are your thoughts?
I think there are a lot of opinions after the game. I wasn't totally impressed with Ponder, but I don't think he lost the game for us. That pick six to Tim Jennings was pretty brutal. But aside from that, and it's hard to just forget about that interception because that was pretty crucial. Obviously giving up 6 points there, but he did lead us. Made a good comeback in the fourth quarter, and I thought we should have extended the lead there to 10 instead of handing off to Peterson on the last third down play, settling for a field goal. So some play calling that Leslie Frazier did address after the game, kind of took responsibility, fell on the sword in a sense, and that he could have called a better play on that last series. So it was a very devastating loss. Not only was this the second road game against the division to start the year, but losing any division game is a tough price, as you know.
Especially starting off with 2 in a row.
Yeah, absolutely. So it would have been nice to get a split in Detroit and Chicago, but that's not what happened. We do have to win tomorrow, Sunday, against the Browns. No reason we should lose the game.
Yeah, there was no reason we should have lost to Chicago. We have the tools. We were on the brink. Just a couple of bad decisions, not only by players on the field, but by the front end management staff. Yep. As you said, Leslie Frazier apologized for sticking with AP on that last drive, which inevitably caused the ball to turn over. But what can you do besides look back in the past and say you messed up?
Yeah, you do have to just look forward, and hopefully they can forget about that game. It was a tough loss, a lot tougher loss than the Detroit game. And I think we can all agree the way they lost, with 10 seconds left, just by the 1 point, 31-30. That's a tough one to swallow, especially on the road in the division. That's a game that they're going to look back at the end of the season if it's tight, and we would have wished we'd have had that one.
Yep.
And Cordell Patterson, another big play with the kickoff return. We AP in the first game with the big run to start the game, and then the Vikings jumped out against the Bears 7-0 when Cordell Patterson took the kickoff back. That was pretty exciting.
Yeah, what do you think in terms of going forward in this season? You think we see a lot more of Patterson, or do you think it kind of continues on this trend of every now and then he gets a snap or two?
I think there was a lot of fans upset this week that Patterson hasn't been implemented more in the offense, and I think we're going to see a little bit more. I don't see why you can't. He's a lot of comparisons between him and Harbin was a playmaker, and Patterson's going to have to step in and hopefully they can get him more involved in the offense because he's a beast. He's a big guy and a lot of raw talent. We do want to see him more involved.
Yep.
And take some pressure off Peterson and get the downfield threat. Now this week with the Browns have a pretty good secondary and pretty good defense overall. It's not going to be easy for the Vikings offense. Cleveland is struggling, and we can talk about Trent Richardson now.
Yeah.
With the news that Trent Richardson was traded to Colts for a first-round pick, and that the Browns are going with their third-string quarterback from Michigan State, Hoey, and they're not going to go with Campbell. It's going to be their third-stringer. I cannot think of his first name. But he's
irrelevant. Is his first name.
Yeah, that's a great point, Bryce. This guy has only started one NFL game in his career, Arizona last year, and had decent numbers, but does throw interceptions. And there's no reason. He's going to come to Minnesota and get a win. And then the Browns did sign Willis McGahee, and but the other running backs in their backfield haven't touched the ball. So Vikings, you would think, will come out strong in their home opener. I'll be at the game, and they should come out strong and give the fans something to cheer about, and hopefully win comfortably tomorrow.
All right, let's bring up an interesting topic here, something that maybe we can push forward with. Let's start a new segment. Let's do a prediction segment. What do you think the Vikings are looking at in terms of a victory or a loss this weekend, and by how much, either way?
I'm going to say the Vikings win 34-13. it's kind of a bold prediction, but I think offensively they are going to get it going, and the Cleveland offense is going to give the Vikings a lot of opportunities with turnovers, and I'll think pretty anemic offensively. I mean, they just don't. Yeah. Josh Gordon is coming back, and but that's pretty much it. They do have that tight end Jordan Cameron, who's supposed to be a stud, but I think the Vikings are going to be ready tomorrow in front of a pretty raucous crowd and come out with a big win.
All right, I'll go ahead and say I think it's definitely going to be a 2-possession victory by the Vikings. Even with the losses that we've had in week 1 and week 2, we've shown a lot of promise. However, not much at the quarterback position. So what I'm going to say is 27-10 Vikings. I don't see a lot coming from the Browns in this game. I got to be quite honest.
Yeah, they have not scored an offensive touchdown this year. If I read that right. I know last week they only scored 6 points, but they are struggling offensively, and now with Trent Richardson gone, like I said, they do have Josh Gordon back, who should help a little bit. But I mean, come on, they're on their third-string quarterback. You're not supposed to underestimate an opponent, but it's the Browns. Hopefully, we don't have a problem. If we do, we're going to have a big problem with the fans here in Minnesota.
Yep.
So.
That being said, this is GBGH Studios. We're reporting from St. Paul at Metro State University campus again. Let's go Vikes fans. Let's hope for a win this week. Let's dominate Cleveland. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right. GBGH Studios telling you to go big
or go home. Let's go Vikes.